What if I told you that blindly following your upline's advice could result in massive failure in your business? Well, as crazy as that sounds, this actually turns out to be the case for many new network marketers, including myself even. And in this video, I want to share why I believe you shouldn't blindly follow your upline's advice, and as well as the story that I'll be sharing my story as well. Anyways, real quick, if you happen to be tuning into this live, be sure to let me know who you are and where you are tuning in from. And if you happen to be catching this on a replay later, be sure to put a hashtag replay down in the comments. Anyways, I first want to share my story as of how I got into this comment trap, and then afterwards I'll share what I did later during almost an entire year of failure. But anyways, I initially got started in network marketing around November of 2017. So this is a little over a year ago that I got started in. And basically, here's my story. So I got started in network marketing around November of 2017. And prior to that, for the past 6 months prior, I had been trying to make money online. I was going into all these different programs, all these different training courses, and I was really trying to just find a way to make money online, because I wanted to be my own boss, and I didn't want to have to work a typical 9-to-5 job and all that. But anyways, I joined this business opportunity around November of 2017, and for me at the time, I'd already dabbled in a lot of other things, and this one that I came across, it made I think the most sense to me. It seemed fairly simple enough, and I decided, all right, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. So that's exactly what I did around late November of 2017, and I got started in that. I set some of the things up, and then I started going through the training that my sponsor has provided, because I joined with one of the top sponsors in the company, and he had exclusive training for his team members. So essentially what happened was I started going through some of the training that he had provided for his team, and I thought, all right, I'll go through this, and I will start implementing essentially what I learned here. So essentially what I started doing, and I essentially was told to do certain things. For one, I was told to, of course, start driving traffic to a capture page. So basically, I had my own capture page and sales system all set up for this specific company. And I decided, all right, what, I'll use some of the traffic sources that he recommended, which it was mainly, I'd say, solo ads that they recommended. So I thought, all right, what, I'll do this on a consistent basis. So that's essentially what I did. I started driving traffic to this specific page on a consistent basis. And the nice thing about this was that I was also looking at a lot of reviews of this company, and hearing a lot of other people's experience, and many people were saying that they were having very good results just by driving traffic to a specific page, and essentially doing essentially what is taught in that training. So I essentially was doing that on a consistent basis. I was ordering solo ads, and I was basically sending them straight to a capture page. And I thought that if I do this long enough, that eventually I'm just going to start profiting right away. And I was really excited at first, because I thought that as long as I just send traffic to this on a consistent basis, that I was just going to start profiting. But what ended up happening was, it was good in the beginning because I was getting a lot of leads coming in. But when it came to when they actually started, watching the, the sales video and all that stuff, I wasn't really profiting in the beginning. And, I thought I was, doing everything. I thought I was, essentially, going through all that. And I just, I wasn't really getting the results that I was looking for. So I couldn't really figure out exactly what was wrong. So after, a few months of doing this, I, not really seeing the results I wanted, I kind of just, stopped doing that, and I kind of just, started dabbling in other things. And I would say it wasn't until May or June of 2018 was when I decided that I was going to come back to this specific opportunity that I had joined back in November, and this time I was really going to, fully commit to it. So I essentially started, going through some of the training again. I started, ordering solo ads and, sending them to that page again, and I decided that I was going to start doing that on a consistent basis. I'd say on a weekly basis, I would take a portion out of my paycheck, my paychecks at the time, and I would invest them into solo ads. So I was doing that, and then in addition to doing that, I was also going through some of the other training that talked about, one-on-one prospecting. So this, I'd say, was mainly for, prospecting on Facebook. I never did the actual in-person, prospecting one-on-one, doing home meetings and cold calling and all that stuff. For me, it was mainly, prospecting on social media. So that essentially was one of the things that I was learning about in this program as well. And, I was doing, I went through all the training. I was essentially doing, everything I was told. I was going through that on a consistent basis and, prospecting, people that I had not spoken to. And when I say, prospecting on social media, I'm talking oftentimes I would be reaching out to, I'd say, anywhere from 20 to 50 people on a daily basis. And I know for some of you that may sound like a lot, but for me, I was really serious about this, and I really wanted to, be doing this on, a full-time basis. So I essentially was going through the training, and I was, following that, and I was doing this on a consistent basis as well. And what I found was that it just seemed like no matter what, I was going through all the training, I was driving traffic, I was talking to people, and it just seemed like I just couldn't really get anyone interested in actually wanting to join into this opportunity that I had. And I just couldn't really figure out what was wrong. So after a while, I kind of started to get a bit burnt out. I'd say mainly in terms of actually, the prospecting one-on-one and, going through all that, approaching strangers, and I just realized, I don't really, I just didn't really have it in me after a while to continue going through with that. So I was, at this point, this was around, I want to say August, I was about this close to actually calling it quits entirely. And what ended up happening was around that time, I came across a training platform that showed me how to start branding myself and actually start attracting an audience of people to want to, actually look at what it is that I have to offer, rather than having to prospect one-on-one and just kind of rely on someone to, join your opportunity through that way. So at that point, I was, super excited about that because, I didn't really have a personal brand built up, and I had just been, driving traffic straight to, just a generic sales video, and just kind of hoping that, if I did that on a consistent basis, that I would, get results. But that didn't really turn out to be the case. So essentially, I started learning about this, and this for me, I'd say, was where it all changed, because here I started to learn how to actually start branding myself and start attracting the right audience of prospects to me. So now I want to talk about why I believe you shouldn't blindly follow your upline's advice. And I'd say typically, when you get involved in any sort of network marketing opportunity, typically you are told to, make a list of everyone and, start, sharing your product and your business opportunity with, with others around you, essentially like that. So what tends to happen for most people is, they do that, and then they go through a lot of rejection, and then many people, they just kind of, they start to get burnt out, and then they kind of give up. And this, I believe, is probably one of the biggest reasons why most people don't succeed in this industry, is because most uplines and most companies are essentially telling their members to just start sharing your product, and show your business opportunity to as many people as you can. And by doing this, it's, especially with how things are now, it's very hard to actually get someone interested in what you have to offer when you are just going about it that route, when you're just using that method to try and recruit people. So if you really want to succeed online, in the long term in network marketing, what I highly recommend is, instead of relying on prospecting one-on-one, I highly recommend that you start learning about attraction marketing. And if you don't know what attraction marketing is, that is where you essentially position yourself as an expert in your niche so that the right prospects, the ones who are actually looking for what it is that you have to offer, will be generally much more interested in joining with you, as opposed to the next person that is promoting your same products and your same opportunity. So that's really my story there. Really hope you got value out of this. If you did, be sure to let me know what you thought in the comments. Really hope you got value there. And if you'd like to learn more about how you could start using attraction marketing in your business, I do have a free 10-day bootcamp you can get access to. It is my 10-day online recruiting bootcamp. If you'd like access to that, I will have it linked down below. If you're watching this on a replay, I will have the link. I should have the link down below, either in the comments or in the description of this video. So you could definitely, check that out there. You're more than welcome to check that out. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's live stream. Hopefully you enjoyed, and take care.